Blessings on you. I am your host, Pastor Wendell Jeffrey, and this is URP Practical Talk. Welcome. And this segment is talking practically. Each year, 1.3 million people die in road accidents worldwide, making road death the fifth largest cause of death annually. In Trinidad and Tobago, 14 people die per 100,000 annually. In the United States, 11 people die per 100,000. In Barbados, 7 people die per 100,000 annually. And in Guyana, 17 people die per 100,000 annually. More people die in Guyana from road accidents than any other country in the Caribbean. And about 3 times as many people die in Guyana in road accidents than those who are similarly killed in the developed world. That we must do something about our errant drivers in Guyana is an understatement. Between accidents and migration, we are losing our best and brightest minds and our most productive workforce. According to the World Health Organization, deaths by accidents is killing more people than malaria and AIDS. The traffic laws in Guyana are too lax. The police are too easy to bribe. The public transportation arena is too politicized. A lot of the minibuses and the taxis are owned by politicians and senior police officers. So the traffic laws cannot be sufficiently enforced for fear of administrative or political reprisals. Like the war on drugs or the war on corruption, there needs to be a similar war on traffic violators. However, until the political or administrative enforcements catch up with the vehicular carnage that is unfolding on our streets, the public will have to take matters into their own hands. If you are traveling in a vehicle and the driver is speeding or behaving dangerously, then speak out. Solicit others in the vehicle to speak out with you. And if the driver continues, then take pictures of the driver, take pictures of the vehicle, and share them on social media. You either speak out or you will die. Don't be another statistic. Speak out and live. Name and shame these errant drivers. And that's talking practically. Thank you. Doc, welcome. Another session.
Yes, thank you.
You doing good?
Fine, I'm doing
You're
fine.
doing good. Doc, we have a lot to catch up with. This half an hour, we probably have to extend this half an hour to more time. There's so much information that we have to put into this half an hour. Doc, you've been doing a lot, traveling and so on. We saw some pictures on the Facebook, URP Guyana, where you were up the Demerara River. I saw you took a team up there. You want to talk a little about what happened when you went up there, the people you meet? Share a little with the viewers.
Well, I met with a lot of people. I went up to the Great Fall, Malali area.
Okay.
I met with people right through, and we do stop, and stop all different areas.
Okay.
And we spoke with a lot of people. It's the same cries all over. Nobody paying attention to them in those areas. Government sometimes, very rare. I think that clinched it for the 2 years. They went in there twice. Recently, I think government went in there again and tell them in Malali area that they will give them $1 million.
They give the area $1 million to do what?
Well, they will decide what they're doing. They just give them $1 million, which some of the people that I spoke with, the younger people, they said that what the government should have done, instead of giving them money, they have a serious problem in communication.
Okay.
That they should try to put up one of these towers,
okay,
so that they can get signal. In that area, it's fascinating because people take bottle and they cut the top of the bottle to get aerial. I don't know how they do that.
Okay.
Make
TV signals?
No, to the telephone. The cell phone.
Cell phones.
Yeah.
Okay.
They cut the bottle at the top and they go near the bottle and then they get a signal. I don't know how that works.
Wow.
But communication is very, very bad there. And also they complain in the area, but they don't have no boat if anybody gets sick.
Okay.
They don't have no ambulance boat or anything like that to pick them up and rush them to the hospital, you know. So they lack of the medical attention there too.
So they don't have anybody there, like a medics or something like that in that area?
No.
Wow.
There's no medics or anything like that.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
And that's about, it's an area of about 40-something miles.
Okay.
You know, from Linden to there.
Okay.
It's probably about 40-something miles. And it's bad, they don't have this. But the communication is very important. They should have communication. And I agree with them that the government, instead of going give them $1 million to do things between themselves.
Just bingy money.
Yeah. And, wow. You know, these are things that are happening. But people are very dissatisfied with what's happening. There's no kind of attention to them, really.
Okay.
They made them guns in the bush to cut log and timbers, and the women and the children, they're at home, they're doing nothing. They don't have a secondary school in the area, which many people got to drop out of school. They can't afford to send their children out of that area to go to the secondary school.
Okay, so there's an educational problem.
Serious.
There's a health problem. There's a communication
problem, all that in that area.
Wow.
So it's very serious. It's very serious.
Okay. So your visit, you were able to buoy the spirits of the people.
Oh yes.
Introduce yourself and your party.
Yes. We had a nice discussion right through with important people who are leaders for the community, and so forth. And you know, I made some suggestions and so forth to them, what we can do to assist from the URP side.
Okay.
You know, and they really appreciate it, and they asked me to go back again.
Okay, good. I also understand that you got a call from the folks in Linden, Suzyke Linden, that they saw your program, or somehow they knew of persons who can get in touch with you, and they asked you to come out, and you had a meeting out there. Talk a little about what happened.
What had happened there in that area, they have pointed out a few houses in the area to me that where these houses built without plan.
Okay.
Right, 3-4 houses built without plan. Also, they have one of the liaison man for the AFC build a house actually in this reserve.
On the government reserve?
Government reserve.
Okay.
And nobody saying nothing. So everybody are saying now, well, if the AFC liaison officer can do that, and that he don't even have a plan to build his house, then we should have got the same right to do that and build in the reserve too. So they have a serious problem in that area. People have been complaining tremendously. They don't know who really to turn to. Somebody tell them about us.
Okay.
So they call us and they're lodging their complaint, and I said, we'll talk about it. We'll try to write about it.
Okay.
What is happening? Because if you are a part of government and you are breaking the law, what do you expect the ordinary man to do?
But we know what will happen, or what is supposed to happen. I have seen that this government has been, even the last administration, they have been reclaiming the reserve. And so if this person is indeed on the reserve, then it behoves Minister Patterson to look into the situation and to have the house removed, if it can be removed, or demolished. Because what will happen then, that's how you get squatting areas.
Yes.
People will come and mimic that, and to the detriment of the development and so on. So, but what is noteworthy is that people will call you because they think that you can offer, that they think that you have a listening ear, which augurs well, because you would suppose that what they would have done initially is try to contact the current administration. So maybe they didn't get any satisfaction. Is that what happened?
Well, yeah, that is so. And one of the lady even complained that, look, I have transport for my land, but I'm not living on the land. And they got squatter going squatting it. I told her, I said, go to the police and show them your transport. You know that this is your land. They can't go and squat in their transported land.
Correct.
It's not vacant, so I advise them to go to the police with their transport and for them to remove the people from the squatters from the land. You know, because these are lawlessness going on.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. All right, Doc. Like I said, we got a lot to cover, and I really wish we can go in depth into these things, but the viewers will understand. You also were in Essequibo, and you met with the Hampton Court fishermen, and we saw it again on the Facebook. We saw you and them having meetings and so on. What are some of the concerns or the cries of these guys?
Well, the cries of these guys, first of all, the entrance where their boat is coming in, it's need to clear.
Dredge, it need to be dredged.
Need to dredge. Okay. And they are complaining about that. They can't get it. The next thing, recently they had these pirates stole their seine and engine and what have you in the area.
Okay.
And one of them said they saw the people, them who did it. They know the people. They reported to the police station. The police come and pick up one of them and leave the other one. It was two of them. And they haven't charged them. They said they have their police said they got to send it to Georgetown at Ivlery to make that decision how they should charge them. Now you telling me something that people saw you carry their engine, their seine and all these things, and those are the eyewitness of it, and you are telling me that you have to send it to Georgetown for them to decide if to charge them or not.
Have they been able to reclaim any of the
No, they haven't got anything.
They haven't gotten back
anything.
No,
they complained they lost about $1.2 million.
Wow.
For the pirate took away. And the guy told me, the fishery, this one person, that this is my third thing. It's the third time that they
lost stuff.
They're taking away his stuff, and you feel like giving up because what's happening. It doesn't make sense that he's a poor man, he's trying to make a honest living, but the environment is not there that where it can happen. Law and order is not around.
So what do you think is the solution to the problem? Is it that you don't have the police are not sufficiently doing their jobs? Is it that these guys who are doing the thing work in collusion with the police in the area?
It is possible. It is possible. I think that the police should have a police boat that what can patrol these areas and stay in the sea, so that to protect these men, the fishermen, right? Because you can't expect that you are on land and will protect the people in the sea. You have to get a policeman with boat in the sea to patrol, so they can
intercept.
Yeah, they can secure themselves. There's so much complaint in the last administration. They are complaining about. This administration seems to be the same. There's no justice for them. And it's very bad. It's very sad when you go and you listen to all these people's story, what is happening, and government paying no mind to them. They had two coker there. They blocked up one of the coker. The next coker can't be able to take off the water. And I don't know for reason why they do that. I don't know who is their advisor to do that.
Oh, you're reducing the water.
Yeah, you can't do that, and they get flood all the time in the area. So they are in serious problem, and it's a big area with all the boats, fishery, go and land in that same area. They have hundreds of boats.
Were the guys able to tell you when last they did any dredging in the area? Because I saw the silting that is happening there, and it makes it makes it difficult for the boats the access and egress. So did they tell you when last they did any work on the silting that area? Many years ago.
Yeah, many years ago. And I said, well, what they should have done, they should have put palaf right through, because it's a few hundred feet to go into the Atlantic from the seawall. But I suggest they should put palaf right through so
Oh,
it can
to
hold the
reduce-
dirt,
Okay, hold
you
it
know,
from.
so the boat can travel freely in and out. You know, and that's one of the solutions.
You know, when we hear about the good life, these are some of the things that people need in order to make the good life possible.
Yeah.
And I know that I think that the guys are late in coming out of the blocks in helping. You just had the regional elections were held. Are the people finding are the regional representatives making the case for these people in the
not at all. They pay no attention to them. Because they was telling me that one time they went to the regional chairman, and the regional chairman, they talked to the regional chairman, and the regional chairman was passing, and he didn't pay no mind to them. And he gone his way. Yeah.
We've got to keep, Guyana is a young democracy. However, we've got to keep changing people until people realize that, look, the only way I can keep my political position or the position that I have been elected to is if I represent the people. We have to keep doing it.
Well, that hasn't been happening at all. It hasn't been happening in the last administration. It's not happening. It wouldn't happen in this administration too, because of party actually.
Correct. And so that's why we are here, and that's why the URP, and we are reaching out to the people. You have to try new parties, you gotta keep trying different things. We know that if you're insane to keep doing the same thing, expecting different results. So you gotta keep changing. You gotta do like the other countries, move people around, vote them in and out until people begin to represent the interests. Well, it's a democracy.
As you know, the government, the two major political parties only put people there who can be able to represent them, not represent the people, but represent them.
The interest of the government.
In the interest of the government. So it's all about power. It's all about power for these guys. It's not about people. People is secondary to them. People is only coming as important people when the election bell ring, when they can jump out there and they can lie to these people and keep on fooling these people.
Right.
And our people is so accustomed to accept these lies, and they still go and vote for these people. I don't understand.
And God, so that's the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that you can't blame, and this is semantics now, you can't blame the politician for not representing the people if the people don't make the politicians represent them.
Correct.
You get the point I'm making?
Correct. No,
a country gets the leaders they deserve. So if you keep nominating and voting leaders that don't represent you, then you can't blame the leaders.
Definitely.
You've got to keep moving things around and let the leaders know, look, we need representation.
Because they come to the understanding, well, the people put me here, so I can do whatever I want to do. That's how they think.
Correct. And in the back of their head, they know that they will put me there again.
Yeah.
You see, so it's that kind of thing that is happening. Doc, talk a little about Ituni, because you did a visit of Ituni too.
Yeah.
Talk a little about what happened
when
you went to Ituni. Where is Ituni though? Because there might be some people who know.
Ituni is on the way going to Kakwani. It's like
okay.
Ituni is 36 miles from Linden.
Okay.
Then I think it's 26 miles or 24 miles from Linden to Kakwani.
Okay.
So it's in the midway of that. People there, they depend on the wood, the logging area. And right now they cry bitterly because there's no market for their logs in that area. They haven't got market for their logs. So they are feeling tremendous pressure.
I want to see if you could make a connection, because when I spoke to some of the people there, they used to work for Bai Shanling. Some of them, what they used to do is Bai Shanling would buy the timber that they cut, or Bai Shanling would hire them. So now that Bai Shanling is not doing as much of the atrocities, because a lot of that was illegal logging too, shipping out the wood without paying the taxes rate and so on. So what might be happening is that they have not been able to secure markets now that Bai Shanling has moved out. And so
Well,
maybe the government need to step in.
The market in the whole has crashed, the Chinese market. They have stopped buying logs. Okay. Very rare they buy any kind of log anymore.
Okay.
And this had been happening just before the election.
Okay.
It started 2 years ago. Before that, 2 years ago, things were fairly good with them. They could have been able to see their way. They could have buy their little luxury television, car, and all these things. But now things had become very, very bad since this administration. But it started from the last administration.
And you have to hold people accountable, because Bai Shanling under the last administration got a lot of duty-free concessions and a lot of other concessionary incentives so that they could establish what they call value added. They were supposed to open plants to process the lumber, the timber, and so on. And Bai Shanling, with all the billions of dollars that they got in concessionary in these concessions, they never did that. No, you see, if you had a situation where Bai Shanling had followed through, and if Bai Shanling was held accountable by the last administration to do what they were what they had negotiated to do and contracted to do, these local lumberjacks now would have been able to take their lumber somewhere, and those lumbers would have been processed into stuff, and then that stuff is what would have been exported, because you would have had that value added. But the breakdown came from the corruption that obtained under the last administration, and of course this administration don't quite know how to handle that.
Yeah. One of the things that I think that, and we have been talking about that since in our campaign in the last election, all these areas, we should have sawmills, erect sawmills in these areas, so that the people, we can have value-added products, we can have finished products, we can be able to sell to different islands and so forth our material. But one of our bad thing in our country here, we always look for the bulk shipment, the raw material shipment.
Ship out the paddy,
ship out the paddy, sugar, everything, right?
Without making.
The bulk shipment. So what happened, people are so accustomed to those kind of things. They're not accustomed to finished products.
Correct.
Right? So the URP are saying, look, simple. Everything that we have, we should try to put down manufacturing factories and all these things like that, so we can get value-added product, where everything that left this country, we left finished product.
Correct.
Because the middleman really makes the money.
Of course.
When you sell the log to these people, they go and they chip it up, and they sell it.
Correct.
So they make the hag of the money, right?
Correct.
Now we mining log for hundreds of years. And we make nothing really out of it.
Correct.
The other people who just come and put a couple of dollars, they make more than what you have been mining for hundreds of years.
And that is why it was commonsensical for the last administration to have Bai Shanling agree to open these factories. What is corrupt and nonsensical is to not enforce the arrangement.
Yeah.
You understand? So now you have the folks in Ituni now, the outer corner husk.
You see, many people who come to invest in Guyana, this is the trend. They make up all kind of documents. They will do this, they will do that, they will do everything, and they never do what they said they're doing.
But and you know why?
And the administration don't follow up on it.
No, because
they don't care.
All you have to do is know who you have on paper. Yeah. You see all these things.
Definitely.
But then all you have to do is know who to bribe.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to follow through with anything that you say.
That's
you just have to know who you can pay.
There was a complaint one time that, all the other loggers had to cut certain amount of log. By Shanling will slaughter everything from one side.
Yes.
And the government say nothing about it.
Why? Because
they get who got to get their get.
Exactly. They had contacts.
See?
They had contacts.
So those are the kind of nonsense what we have been facing within Guyana. Very sad situation.
We have to change. We have to change it. We have to change it. What's your take on sports in Guyana? Because that is big, and the young people, there's a lot of opportunities that can be opened up via the sporting arena and so on. Has the party thought of how they can assist in that area? What's your view?
Sport is very important, especially for the younger generation.
Okay.
Right? URP think that every area should have a recreational facilities.
Okay.
Right? Like either a ball field or a little pavilion with, with recreation for the youths.
Okay.
Because what we do while having that, we are taking these children them off the street, not focusing on rum shops in Guyana and drugs. They don't have anything to do. And this is why young people have been turning to drugs. They're turning and become alcoholic. They start to do mischievous things in Guyana. So if we can able to set up in every area recreational centers that youth can go, boys and girls and so forth, they can go there, they can play their volleyball, their football, their crickets, and all these things, then we are able to occupy these youth, and they don't have the time to waste where they will go and sit in rum shop and sit and smoke drugs.
Okay. I was talking to some Jamaicans and of course some Bajans, and the reason that these guys excel, these countries excel in sports, is because there is a direct involvement. The government is directly involved in spearheading, just what you're saying, in spearheading these things in the little areas and stuff like that. So that if the government through the Ministry of Youth, Culture and Sports could catch the vision that you are sharing, we could have two positives. We could have a reduction in drug and alcohol and these other deviant behaviors. That's one positive. The other positive is that we can bring people with sportsmanship qualities to the fore, much to the benefit of Guyana. Doc, we are running out of time here. Do you have a closing, as we close this segment, do you want to look into the camera and talk directly to your constituents?
Yes, Pastor. To the audience, I would like to appeal to each and every one of you. Let us look Guyana with a serious eye. Let us all pay attention. Don't think that a handful of people will take this country forward. You and I and Pastor Jeffrey and all of us have to work together to make Guyana a beautiful Guyana. So please, take it seriously. Get your children involved. Get yourself involved. Don't say that government have to do this and government have to do that. You are part of the government. Everything that marks government, it's yours. And if you're not paying attention to it, it means you are neglecting your own duty. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for viewing me out of time. God bless you. Remember to visit us on the World Wide Web, www.urpguyana.com, or on our Facebook page where you will see all the travels and so on that has been happening. You'll be able to get a view of the different places that we've been going to, and that is URP Guyana, our Facebook page. Thanks for joining us. God bless you real good. See you next week, same time, same station. Bye-bye.